All right, guys, welcome back to Dominion Domination, my world's famous noob-proof game. And so what's happened here is you can see that he has sent in another stack. He sent in earlier a stack of 40, maybe even 45, and I had to defend down here. I sent down a couple cannon, and I didn't cast that because it wasn't really related to anything. And you can see here 14, he's lost 46. So this was a stack of 60. So he has now, part of my, I told you part of my strategy here was to poke the nest, so to speak, and force him to come after me and die screaming against my, against my forts here. And he hasn't done that. And that's disappointing because I would love for him to come in with his infantry and his cannon and just have his cannon out there on the field. But he's not doing that. The AI has the algorithm to keep cannons in the forts, which is smart. If I was programming that, that's the way I'd do it too. So I just wanted to bring you back up to date, though. What that means is that he has sent 100 plus, maybe even 120 guys to die screaming against this fort. And you can see these are going to die. I sent down some support cannons to just speed up this whole process and to save some of my troops, of course. The quicker I kill them, the fewer troops I lose. In this particular battle, I have lost 9 troops to his, 46. By the end, I'll probably lose 10, and he'll lose 60. So I'm okay with that. So the reason that I'm mentioning this is that I'm just tired of waiting. I really am. I'm just tired of waiting. What I'm going to do is go ahead and leave this alone. This is building, I think it's just building back a level 1. So at this point, my men should have 50% protection. Let me just check that stack. Yeah, 50% protection. So if you don't know, a level 1 fort that is damaged will give you 50% protection. A level 1 fort, of course, that's not damaged will give you that 66% protection. But it's still not bad. So only half of his shots are getting through. And it is possible that he could tear down that last bit of level. But again, I'm not super concerned about it. What I'm concerned about is I'm ready to start this. So I have another cannon coming in, another cannon coming in over here. So I have 6 support cannon that are going to attack in after my initial stack. But let's do this. I'm just tired of it. I've got so much crap here. I love the 7 cannons. So I'm pretty confident this is going to happen. I also love that he killed 100 of his own infantry going after that side place. Now, but I'm not as beefy here because of those side places as well. Like normally, by this time in the game, I should have 200, 220 infantry here. So it's subtracting from both of us. There's no question. But once I break through here, I can take whatever's left over here, probably 25, 30, and move them in as well and use them as part of that invasion force, into central Tikrit to take it all. And then once I've got Tikrit, then it's just invasion time across the island. All this land will be mine. I'm going to reposition my headquarters, right, my capital to here. And that way, all of this island territory will benefit from that morale. I'm going to go ahead and come back here and start trying to stack more. And this is, of course, once I have the additional revenue from those other resources, stack more forts around here because forts give you that +5 morale per level. And I haven't been doing that because I've been using that iron for cannon and tanks. But once I take this iron, I'm eyeballing that iron, that double iron, and really get some production on that tile, that will give me enough to go ahead and finish out along with this double iron, which, by the way, is fully developed right now. It's level 4 and a railway here. I can go ahead and start stacking forts back here. So the idea here, of course, is that you are penalized for distance away from the factory, or from your capital. So this one might be the furthest away. I'm not really sure, but take a look at the morale here. Yeah, -14 morale. And, that's per day. And it's not per day. It goes into the equation, but yeah, -16. So it balances out against other positives and so forth. But -16 is pretty huge. That's basically the same as being at war with 3 countries, So by putting my capital here, everything on the island will be much closer. All my newly conquered stuff will increase in morale faster because it won't have that huge penalty. And then I'll stack back over here to preserve the morale of my home 8. I'll stack those forts. So things are going great. Let's go ahead and attack in. I just want you to go ahead and have this experience with me. So I'm grabbing up everybody who's going in. You guys too over here. And look at that. 19 cannon, 7 tanks, and a bunch of dudes. So I'm going to go ahead and bada bing. They're all going in the same avenue. That makes sense. It's exactly what I want to happen. Because, of course, these guys need to come off of offensive control. That's something, if you've got this, there we go. If you've got the extra, I don't remember what it's called, but you can buy it for $5, I think, and you get the extra options for firing. It's worth it to me. It also gives you the option to delay and some other commands, I believe, maybe add target. But it's super duper worth it. But the problem is, if you set the behavior to offensive, that means you're going to fire no matter what other orders have happened. Now, it's great because what you can do is you can set it on offensive and then run your guys in somewhere. And then as soon as they encounter the enemy, the cannon will start attacking, right? So they won't follow the order to walk into a death trap. Their prevailing or dominant order is to attack as soon as they see someone. So it's a great thing to have. But in that case, if I hadn't noticed that, then he would have sat here and continued to fire and not taken part in my attack, and that would have made me sad. All right, so the second part of this, of course, is I've got to protect myself against the artillery that I know are in here. Now, I'm a little bit torn about this. So in the past, what I've done is I've sent in my entire stack. And what sometimes happens, if you don't have enough stuff there, they get annihilated. But I'm going to go ahead and try. I'm going to go ahead and send them in, everyone in, because I think all in is probably the best option here. The other option, of course, would be to send them in waves of 20 and just try to keep somebody in their face the whole time. I need someone attacking melee so that their cannons cannot fire. But I'm going to go ahead and send them all in. I think this entire oil field probably has like 400 infantry all told, and nobody else has attacked in at all. I mean, there's no one else to attack in. We've talked about this. This is noob town. Has anybody taken this oil field yet? Wait, over here, this oil field. No, it's the Ramadi garrison. Look how big it is. Oh, the garrisons are starting their own empires over here. It's still this way. Ouch. Man, oh man. And over here we have the Kut Empire, the Kut Garrison Empire. And over here we have the Kirkuk Garrison Empire. This is actually bad news to me because, I mean, it's not terrible news because at least I can take them on one at a time and they're a little bit more predictable than humans. But the AI develops these well. And the AI builds tanks and bombers and, give them enough time. And these are going to be very difficult to attack into. So it's a little bit scary. And then keep in mind, each of these garrisons starts off with 200 men and 10 artillery or whatever. And then, of course, it's even worse for these two island ones. And then Baghdad is just a nightmare. If anybody knows how many start off in Baghdad, please let me know in the comments below. I'm super curious. I've had people tell me that their spies saw this, that, or the other, but it would be kind of cool to know. All right, so let's do this. It's time. I'm going to go ahead and peel off these puppies here. Time to send in all of my ground units. And 160 makes me nervous, but they will be stiffened by this 7 tanks. And I'm going to send them in to attack. And they will be that glove in the fighter's face to keep him from counterattacking with his cannon. And then, of course, I need to adjust the time. This guy's going to get there almost immediately, right? I mean, not immediately, but that's friendly territory in a very short amount of time. So he'll get there at 11:19 p.m. This guy won't get there until 1:48 a.m. So quite a bit later. So what I need to do is he's getting there. And I do kind of love this, though, because I don't have to traverse a lot of enemy territory here. Most of this travel is on friendly territory, so I'm going my normal speed. I only get slowed down to 1/3 speed for this last little leg. So what we need to do is take this time, 1:48, okay, 1:48, and I need to go ahead and delay this until 1:48, and in fact, until slightly after 1:48. So let's, 1:49. I hate it. Always as I let go. Oh, man. Now it's going to, look at that. It was perfect. You saw it. It was perfect. My mouse is actually really bad about that. In fact, sometimes I can't even get commands to register because the motion of clicking the button moves the mouse just ever so little. So 148. Here, let's scoot it back. I've got it now. Okay, come on, buddy. It's never going to let me get back to that point. It's one of those things where like, and just the process of lifting up the mouse button is what did that, is what moved it just ever so little. So it's not going to let me get back to 159 or 149. So I'll go 151. That's just a couple minutes after the other attack. So let me set that delay. And to me, that's the way to do it. You know, make sure you have a big enough group of infantry to do it, because they are going to be going up against 200, maybe even 300 infantry in here. And don't forget forts, right? So that matters. It matters a lot. But I would also suggest to you that nullifying the cannon is worth it. And then also make sure you've got enough cannon coming in behind to make your cannon speak loudly for you. Very super, definitely important. So, all right, that's it, guys. Don't really have much else to say. We will come back and see the results of this attack. I believe I'm still continuing to build tanks down here. So as soon as they're built, they will rush to the front and help to take the rest of this if I'm successful here. Usually once you punch through, you're pretty much golden. He puts on most of his fight here in the early battle, streams in stuff from the 3 adjacent territories and even from the opposing territory over here, and really lays everything into that defense. And that's why you see stuff like the multiple failures on all the other, on all these other garrisons, is people attacked in, and he made that strong defensive stance and wiped out the entire army of these noobs coming in, and then just conquered. Once the enemy is gone, you just rampage. You just conquer back over. So this is a crazy game. I've never seen all 4 garrisons dominate back outwards like that. This is a serious noob game, and it's very, very lucky that I chose this strategy, because these exact kinds of noobs are the ones who attack you and then cause you to be at war for the entire game, pissing me off. All right, guys, that's it. Thanks for checking in to Dominion Domination. I'll come back when I've finally cracked this nut here. That is the Tikrit garrison. All right, adios, my friends. I'll see y'all next time.